Hey, what's up, everybody? So today we are now on to Final Fantasy XIII of playing through all these games and every Final Fantasy game, and yeah, so I just went completely dark. But anyway, um, so just get a little background on this game. I am playing on PlayStation 3. This is a game that came out March of 2010. I actually remember specifically the day it came out. I went at midnight to get it, and was really excited for this game because this was the first game in 3.5 years that we got a Final Fantasy, and this was on the new uh, set of systems. This was the first Final Fantasy game to come out on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Fun fact: it's the only Final Fantasy. I mean, there was all the games in this series came out as well, but the only game that came out on that generation of systems, which is crazy because um, every system had at least a couple, um, 2 or 3 games that came out on that system. So um, I thought when I played this game, when I was playing it for the first time, I thought this game was absolutely amazing. Later on, it gets to a point that I'm not really crazy about the game. It does some things I'm not really a fan of, and we'll get into it. But um, it's a cool game. I am looking forward to playing this again because I've only played through this game twice, um, and I've got mixed feelings with it. Like I said, the sequel I have more so of an issue with, but we're gonna dive right into it. So. Yeah, but I remember getting this at midnight and I was so stoked for it. And it's a beautiful game. I mean, even for PS3. I mean, remember these are PS3 graphics. Um so I mean, it's still a fantastic looking game.
The 13 days after we awoke were the beginning of the end.
So a lot of mystery behind. There's a lot of events in this game, a lot of dialogue that you don't really know what's going on to some extent. Um but this game feels like a Final Fantasy game. It kind of goes back to making it feel like that. It's a little, definitely a futuristic type environment and things like that, but um, it's still,
You serious?
it still feels like a Final Fantasy game.
Best of luck. She did it! Hands high! You alright? I'm not a Lassie.
And you'll learn all the terms and things like that. There's some of the terms in this game I get a little confused on. I did the first time around, but if nothing else, there's mixed feelings about some of the characters in this game, but if nothing else, Lightning, who's our main character we see, she is a fantastic main character, and she's actually the first female main character in a Final Fantasy game. In a mainline game, obviously it was 10 too, but some people make the case that Terra was for Final Fantasy VI, but yeah, Lightning's the first definitive main character that's a female. So, and she's an awesome character, which is refreshing coming from 12, considering Vaughn was the main character. And, Yeah, like right as this game starts, like we're in the middle of like some crazy stuff.
Run! I've been away!
The now loading, I do remember it can get a little annoying. 'Cause there's a lot of loading in this game. Yeah, so the thing, this game came out over 7 years, about 7.5 years ago at this point. And to think how good this game looks now, I mean, it looks solid. Imagine how good it looked back then.
They're sending the big guns now. What do we do?
Watch and learn.
Alright, and there's a lot of tutorials in this game. We'll view it just because it's been a sec. Time watches your ATB gauge slowly. Characters perform actions by expending charged ATB gauge segments. Actions which... Like I'm trying to remember how this game plays. It's definitely, it goes back to turn-based, but it's also a little actiony as well. Like you really have to be on top of your stuff. That's to view the enemy.
All back.
Not so tough now, huh? Hey, that wasn't like a challenge now, all right? Hey! Time to go! I'm coming!
Jump.
Yeah, this game delivers on scenes. There's definitely some cool moments like this, where you know characters are running from something, or they're having to make these crazy jumps and stuff like that. Alright, so kind of remember some stuff here and there. It's all targets in range. I'm trying to remember if there's a way to get back to your other characters. And I think there is. But they'll probably show us in a little bit. But it's cool with the way this is. I don't even want to say it's turn-based. It is in a sense, but you're not waiting on each other's turns. You can attack each other literally the same time as the enemy attacks you.
goodness. Woo. We did it. Oh, hey! Aren't you supposed to protect civilians, soldier? I mean, you are Sanctum, aren't you? What are you doing trying to stop the purge? Why don't you tell me that?
I was a soldier.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Man.
There's a lot of backstory with Lightning, and so that's one thing. She's very developed. If nothing else, you can say what you want about the other characters in this game, but Lightning is very, very well developed.
Better follow her. I'm getting too old for this.
Alright, so we're gonna finally get to be able to control. Yeah, I'm trying to think. What do we want to do? Yeah.
Sure we can get through here?
Alright, so we got the menu. Settings and data log. Oh my god. I gotta literally view these to get these exclamation points drive me nuts. So yes, I will be viewing every single one of these. I'm so OCD when it comes to stuff like this in menus. Like if it's like super noticeable, oh my god. Alright, so let's do this. Alright. And yes, there really is one legit save data on here. So, but I did play it a second time on Xbox 360. Much more enjoy it on this. So, okay, that's the map.
What are you supposed
Boom. We're about to get on 350 hours. This is crazy.
The army leaving its toys out now?
I feel like I'm missing a control or something like that.
Fixing to dish me already, huh? Hey now.
Go back, just look real quick. There are some items that you can miss out early that can help you out. Boom. I think you can sneak attack them though. I will do blitz. To me, a little bit the gameplay, like the core of it, is really good. I really like it. You know, it's not slow. Like it keeps you on your toes and everything like that. But there's times where I feel like it's just so linear. You know, like especially, you know, and I'll probably get into this more with bosses, but there's a lot of games where you end up, you know, you face a boss and there, you know, there's more than one way to beat that boss. This game, however, I feel like they give you a lot of the boss in this game. There's one way to defeat that boss, and to me, I just don't like that. It's like, what's the point then? Like, it's pretty much at that point you're figuring out the strategy to beat that boss. But again, we'll get into that later.
Not wanting to get purged, I get. But taking on trained soldiers?
Better to die than get sent to Pulse. It's hell without the brimstone.
Yeah, well, hell's not sounding too bad. Because this place ain't exactly paradise.
Domesticated peacekeepers. Nothing to worry about.
Well, maybe not for a soldier girl, but I'm trying to say, hey!
It's funny because Sasha's a character I like, but it's really funny because a lot of the early stuff, you don't find out, for a little bit at least, why Sasha and Lightning are together. You know, it's like, it's a very random pairing. You got like Lightning, who comes across as almost like a mercenary type, you know, mysterious soldier. Very similar to, I get a similar vibe from her, like Cloud from Final Fantasy XIII. So, and then you're like, you know, Sasha's like just a kind of a comedic character, somewhat. I wouldn't say he's definitely comedic. Like, I wouldn't label him as a comedic character. He has some comedic traits to him, but you're like, why? How do these two get together? You know, you keep hearing him call Lightning soldier. You know, Sasha clearly is not a soldier, but let's save again. The one weird thing with this game is there's really no traditional towns. Kind of suck. So this is like, these are the shops in the game. You'll see them at save points for the most part. Crap. I forget, the rating plays a little bit of a part into the game. I think it like affects your rewards from battles, whether it be experience or items. I think. I am Bangle. Okay. Alright, moving along. Where are we going? Oh, we gotta go this. Okay. Right? Yeah. So that bar on the top right, that orange one that keeps going down, what that is, I forget the term of it, but basically if you're able to fill it up, their defense drops like crazy. And that's pretty much the strategy for boss fights. There's some bosses where you really can't even do any lick of damage unless you fill up that bar. And then they kind of go into like a little, go into kind of a status where they're just open to shots.
Rebels.
Rebels.
So much for the element of surprise.
Yeah, good job, Lightning. Item usage. Do I really need a... I need to specify target using items as a free action, so we recover without expending any charge segment. When you find yourself in a pinfall, hesitate. Okay. They definitely, and just like 15, they made this game, I think, they made it so people could, new fans of the series could jump into this game. And I don't think they wanted to make it, I mean, there's some things like, I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, I think like this game being more action-packed, I think they wanted to draw in a new crowd that thought that Final Fantasy games were too slow. I think they did a good job of it. You know, there's definitely no complaints from me. Oh, wow. That happened.
Do we turn back?
There's no time.
Then what do you suggest we do?
Quiet.
Hey! Wait! No, don't leave me!
Let go!
No, hell no! You're my only way out of here! No! Hey, that might get us across. Right there. Right?
Looks that way.
All right, you leave this to me.
All right. It's cool they do list like, you know, the events going on. So if you're ever, you know, that's one good thing. Like there's times where I'm like, what just happened? And it'll tell you, you know, the land below is set to crawl with unknown perils and terrified civilians. Begin a rebel against the purge. A revolt also occurs on the train transporting purge portees. Lightning's battle against the guards galvanizes the other prisoners into action. The train comes to a halt in the district of the Hanging Edge, now a hellish war zone, where soldiers open fire indiscriminately upon civilians. Lightning makes her way through the middle of the conflict, all but ignoring her uninvited companion Sash. She seems determined to press onwards, even when the path before her is destroyed by military strikes. So, and you can go back at any point in the game, and you know they'll tell you what happened. Like you can go back when you're almost at the end of the game and like, oh yeah, this happened here, beginning of the game. Like, you know, that's one cool thing about this game. There's definitely times like I'm playing a Final Fantasy game and I haven't played. You know, there's times where you haven't played a game in like 2 months. And you're like, what the hell is going on? You know, why are we doing this? And you know. Alright, use a potion. Boom.
Seems to be in working order.
Save again. Let's just go up this way real quick, just see if there's anything.
Where you going? Hurry up and get over here.
There's probably an item. Yep. $50 gil. Whatever. Which we probably could have gotten later.
Pick us off from up above.
I don't ever remember money being a problem in this game. That's the save point.
Not our lucky day.
Deportees, are we? Weapons down. I'd hate for this to turn ugly.
Turn ugly?
Yeah, as if it hasn't already.
Fight.
Time's up!
Alright. I think we already know. Chain gauge. Chain gauge. Chain gauge. So it makes the battle tricky because like I have multiple enemies here. So staggered, that's what it is. So I want to stagger this guy, but at the same time I need to beat these guys. But you're in a race because you gotta beat him before his stagger meter goes down. You know, or sometimes you'll end up, you know, even before he's staggered, you know, the gauge goes all the way up and boom.
So, soldier. What's your angle? What? Was it classified military info? Huh? What's the matter? You quit, didn't you? Did you think I'm gonna go out there and just tell everybody your secrets?
See. My angle. I'm after the Foul Sea.
This story's really different.
Still have
Because normally, you know, stories don't start like you never jump right into the middle of a story. Like every so often, like yeah, there's a war going on, but like we're right in the middle of a story. Like there's gonna be backstory that you don't know about. Like who are the False Sea? Like why is lightning after them? It's pretty interesting.